Is Moses working on it?
Moses? Who the fuck's Moses?
I don't know. Some guy that built the Ark.
Oh, okay. So
God damn it!
I'm sure that I just didn't think you'd take it biblical. I just, of all the filthy things you say, I did not. Are
you kidding me? Have you ever read Psalms? That is the most pornographic group of writings of the ancient world ever. The Kama Sutra can eat a dick compared to some of the shit that Solomon writes.
Kama Sutra does advise you eat a dick in several positions, actually.
Yeah, when Solomon's like, just rape as many bitches as you can. I mean, just do it. I love breasts and I love fruits, and it's better to let your semen fall to the belly of a whore than touch the ground. I mean, come on, the Psalms is amazing.
Oh, dude! So there's this old lady talking to her grandson or something like that, and he was recording it, and she said that sort of thing. I was talking to somebody. God damn it! This memory is just it's too foggy in my mind. But someone was saying that their grandmother gave them money to go have sex with a prostitute because she said that quote, that she'd rather his seed go to the belly of a prostitute than on the floor. She caught him jerking off in a garage. I don't remember who the hell this was.
This is awesome, man.
I was in Denver, and she actually gave him $20 to fuck a whore.
20 was enough? What kind of girls do they have in Denver?
This was definitely an older guy. I think he was probably in his 50s, and this was 5 or 6 years ago. So,
I still don't think a whore was ever $20. Sometime past the 1950s.
Let's see. That would be 2015. So what's 50 years minus that? Yeah, that was approximately
in the 70s.
Yeah. So
60s.
And this is also I don't know where the hell they're. You know what? I'm not even going to try and give any more details because it's too foggy of a memory for me. But
okay, I'm going to cultivate this so next time you can tell us. I will not forget this because I want to hear the details.
Well, I can't remember who it was. Like I was shit faced. I was at a meetup group I made, and this was somebody telling me about this, and I can't remember the details of who it was, or I'd be able to tell you greater details.
So would $20 would 20 coins worth of ARK be good enough to buy a hooker with?
ARK, actually, I don't know what their price is right now, and honestly, I don't even give a shit about the price. So the price, we saw a big jump up in early to mid-February, and then coming toward late February, we saw just a big tank, which who didn't see that coming? And I say this because there's no stability in the market because nobody freaking uses it.
My biggest complaint.
Well, right, and so people expect to see this, oh yeah, we're going to see a bull market, and that's all anybody talked about for, what was it? I don't know, how long was that? I think it was about a week-long run-up, maybe 5 days.
Yeah, it was about
that. We finally found the bottom of the market. It's a bull run. No, it's not. You don't see a bull run until people actually use it. That's why we sell such a shit bear market, because things like ARK here are going to solve this problem. I'm highly confident, but until they actually solve it, you're just seeing pure speculation. So we're seeing ETFs come up, and so people are trading in exchanges like Bittrex and stuff like that. I forget the Chinese one. I actually use them quite. Binance. So
Binance.
Yeah,
I like that name.
No, they're a really solid company. Chinese owned, so I'm super nervous about them.
But Chinese owned and Chinese government owned are two different things.
No, it's not.
The Chinese come here and they own a lot of business. They actually do really good.
Okay, maybe Chinese here in this country that own things that don't have any connection to China. But if you're Chinese owned in China, like, you are owned by the government. You do whatever the fuck the government says.
Okay. I'll take your word for it right now.
That is a fact of life. If the government catches wind of what you're doing, they don't like it, you will do what the fuck they say, or you will disappear, and someone else will be running that business next week.
They will rape you. Yes, gotcha.
So yeah, it's that's.
But you say Chinese owned. I was assuming it was like outside of China.
Oh no, yeah, no, I don't mean the people. I just mean like the government and any of their political boundaries.
So the Chinese government sucks, but I mean, if they came to America and opened their business, they're doing okay.
Yes, they're not in the U.S. I think they're in the Maldives, and they've got
Maldives?
a couple. Yeah. They still have their headquarters.
How do you pronounce
in China,
that, really?
Yeah, I have no idea. Obviously, we pronounce it differently, but I don't give a shit. Everyone knows what you mean.
Yeah, we know.
Maldives, Maldives. Everyone knows exactly.
Potato.
We're not talking about Maldiva chocolate.
Pussy, vagina, whatever.
Anyway,
yeah.
I like them pretty well, but we rabbit holed super hard there. Anyway, if you're trading stuff at those places, you're trying to make money. So you're pulling all your cash out of either Tether, USD coin, Gemini coin, True USD, whatever one of these dollar peg tokens that you have access to in those exchanges. You're then trading into Ethereum because you hear there's a fork coming up. Let me throw money into this and let it go up a little bit. You let it take a 10% increase, then you sell it all. And you have 4 or 5 people that have just huge portfolios, and they set them all to trade all at the same time. And it's like my good friend who's on the ARK staff there. He just sold off some Bitcoin. I mean, this was in 2017. He told me ahead of time, like, hey, man, you probably want to sell some Bitcoin or something like that because I'm about to sell some. And, like, I'm not trying to fuck with the market, but I'm trading this cash and I have a lot. So I'm taking out about $500,000, so it's going to cause a drop in the market.
See, that's one of the things about the stability. In a stock market, it's called shorting shares or just dumping your shares. It really affects the price of things. And if somebody's got a majority ownership and they just dump it one day, if you bought into it, you're just fucked if you didn't catch wind of this before they do it.
Right, and they don't even mean to do any harm to anyone. Sometimes
they
do.
They're just like, fuck everybody, give me my money.
Right, but it's like in the crypto space, it's so underused. Like the volume just isn't there because no one's really using it. It's just they're talking about using it.
Well, because they're holding on to it because they really expect it to go back up in value, which I just don't see it going back up in value like it originally did because the excitement's not there. Everybody just realized, wow, I could just lose my ass.
Well, so I disagree. This is like the .com bubble. That was a big bubble, and then it died, and then it just escalated 1,000 times.
Well, it took its time, though.
Oh, yeah, no, it was definitely a couple of years.
Right, so, I mean, people are seeing the same kind of trend. Well, let's hold on to the coin and hope it starts to rise.
Right.
But they need to trade it in order to give it that, No.
Well, so trading is that's what leads to speculation we saw over the past couple of weeks of or the middle of February.
Right, but proper trading, not dumping. Like everybody's buying and selling a little bit.
You only trade things that are of value. The only value you can bring to something is by actually using it.
Come on. Like I said, cash currency and Jesus have one thing in common.
Oh, belief.
Exactly. The belief. That's what it really is. I mean, was Jesus a powerful guy? He probably was, but he only has power now because I believe he does.
Right.
And the only reason my dollar has power now is because I believe in what the government tells me to believe. And
right.
The only reason I love that pussy is nobody has to tell me I believe in it. It feels good.
But people will accept the dollar. People will accept the belief in Jesus. People will not accept the belief in crypto because they don't use it for anything.
Not yet.
It has not exactly. That's my point there. Long term, I do see a very, very big market growing for crypto, but not right now because nobody's using it. So ARK is the bridge to that next level use. And so my buddy Matt was talking to me, this was a year and a half ago, about making V2 of their white paper. And a white paper, for anybody that doesn't know, this is how a cryptocurrency explains itself from nuts to bolts. This is where we started out. This is the problem in the market we're trying to solve. And you're not getting real deep in the technology there. Just kind of, we're going to apply this technology, blockchain, crypto, and maybe this algorithm to create this sort of thing. This is how you'll transact. Basically, those high-level details where you're explaining a little bit, but not so much that you need a programmer to understand it. And so they're only halfway done with that white paper, and he's been talking about that for 2 years now. He wrote the first one, which is, he got pissed at me for a podcast I did about 2 years ago, and he said it was just so cringeworthy on ARK. Like, well, bro, I'm reading your white paper. Like, I'm not quite as smart as you. At the same time, I'm reading your shit. Like, I guess you better do a better job at breaking down because I'm far more intelligent. And I don't mean to be disrespectful to anybody, but
he should have respected that anyway, because if you're a fairly smart guy and you're reading it off and it's pissing him off because it wasn't right, he should look at that more like constructive criticism. He should be happy you're reading it, for one, to explain it, but then he should have been like, well, now I see the new problem. I need to explain this better.
Right, this is how it's being interpreted by a moderately intelligent person. He's a better protocol and network analyst than me. He understands protocols, like breaking down the actual bit. This is the IP header and UDP, TCP header, that sort of thing. But
right.
He's better at it than me, but I'm still pretty good at it. And this is me interpreting it, so obviously you're not conveying it in a fully accurate or or the best manner.
90% of everything explained needs to be done in what's called layman's terms. You can't expect me or you to understand, quantum physics, but there are layman's terms or simple ways to explain it, which Neil deGrasse Tyson does on TV, which I don't like, but same idea. But I agree with that. If the layman can't understand it, you're not doing a good enough job explaining it properly. Just because all your crypto buddies and crypto kitty writing motherfuckers can understand it, why would I want to use it if you're a bunch of snobby pricks and I really don't know what you're doing? Are you going to swindle me? Are you going to fuck me? Well,
so there are a lot of projects just like that. They are pricks and real snobby as shit. I can't say that for sure about the ARK team. Like, even Mike, their head developer, like, he's a really fucking good guy. He will get to your emails eventually. He's tapped out, man. This guy is just working.
He's got to have millions of people asking him questions daily.
Right, but he really takes the time to talk to you. So
that's awesome.
I don't want to shit on them, but they really need to work on that front end stuff. But at the same time, like in their website and their white paper, about 50%. Website's 50 to 58%. So you need to have that public face. But until you actually get the core fix, which their version 3 core is only at 25%. And they're planning most of the stuff to be done. The website and white paper is supposed to be done this quarter, which obviously isn't going to happen.
Well, then we should get our readers interested. We should put a link up where they can look at it, and then they can give us their feedback, because people who are listening, they're interested, should give some feedback, because maybe they can help with what they're seeing, and maybe that might help ARK up their game.
Well, a little bit.
Or other people.
The problem here is, though, crypto's down so much right now, they've lost a lot of the money they had to initially pay people. So when ARK was up at like $10 a token, it's right around $1 right now. But it was up at a $10 token, they could pay people a lot, and they cashed out to actually pay their bills. Now that those funds have dropped a lot, they might have a cash fund as well. But
over time they keep making more. So I mean, even if it's $1.
They do. So some currencies are not mineable. Just to be clear, there, not all of them continue making more.
Right. Well, I mean, they can make more. So just because it's not mineable doesn't mean there's only a finite. They can change it, I'm sure.
Nope. Nope. So most of them, actually, they say at this point we stop making them and you will not make any more. Others say there is this much in existence. You get this much percent of each transaction, but there will never be any more.
Wow. So at some point, the scarcity gets so big, you have to do what we used to do with pennies and cut them into 12 pieces and call them pence.
So, I mean, that's what crypto already does.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, that just kind of gets weird.
No, I mean, not really.
So there's a reason governments make new bills, because when it's like 3,000 yen to the dollar, now you have to make a $3 yen that's equal.
Well, that's why just about all these apps do a dollar conversion. Now, ARK included. They have a nice wallet. They have a desktop wallet.
That's nice.
A mobile wallet, and they've got a third one there.
Maybe you can help me buy some, like, after my next paycheck.
Oh, I mean, I can sell you some. I've got a good bit of ARK. I really have a lot of belief in ARK, Stellar.
I just want to learn about it. I mean, I'm not going to learn about it if I'm not trading with it.
Right, and so that's I can help you set up a Bittrex account or Binance or something like that. I like Binance because they're not US.
I'll get every Korean hooker on the planet to like start buying this stuff. It'll get traded like crazy.
You know, that is a good way. Let me finish up on ARK here, because there's so much possibility. I get too excited, and we'll go for another hour. We're already way over time right now.
No, it's great, man. This has been a great podcast, and we've had so much crap to talk about.
So core 3, that's the basis, the center point. It's kind of like the core of the Earth, the magma inside the core of the Earth that keeps everything kind of rotating and warm, and causes volcanoes, but it keeps shit moving.
It's the core,
right? So they're only 25% done with version 3, and that is a shitload of work. They've only completed 1 out of 10 tasks on that.
Well, it's expected this year.
Well, and it's just kind of like the white paper and website. That's still gonna, if someone really gets to it, they could probably knock it out in a week. But they're only 25% done. They need to get it done, and they only have 10 more months to go. They're really running out of time there. And then the GUI, so that's graphical user interface for deployers. So if we want to start our own blockchain and launch a US dollar peg token, or a token based on a US dollar peg token, whatever we want to do, make something that's more usable by people, dev out an app. They're 84% done with that, and they want it done by this quarter. That might be achievable, but that's a lot of freaking work. I don't think they're going to meet any of these deadlines, is the point I'm getting at here.
Well, I mean, GUI's done at 84%. I mean, that's pretty good.
3 out of 5 tasks.
Quarter 1, they've only got
a programmer's
2 more
job.
months.
A programmer's job is really difficult. I mean, this is years of work.
But
they've been working on this since back in like 2014.
Yeah, I mean, they must know what they're doing, because they got a date.
So they're really good. This is a great team, but it's a big job, and that's why I place less concern on the GUI and the website and the white paper, because it doesn't matter how good you advertise. No one's heard of ARK. It's a really low ranked coin as far as trading daily, but they actually have a solid team behind them.
I really like this idea of interplanetary filing system. Like,
that already exists. It's pretty cool. I don't know enough about it to effectively use it, but I do know enough about it that essentially you have pieces of your file stored across a dozen or maybe a couple hundred different servers, and you can access it at a moment's notice, but it does cost money to use because you're using someone else's hard drive.
It's like a big-ass cloud where it's a little bit more...
and more secure.
Yeah.
More secure, and as far as no one can break in and take it as easily.
So it's about as safe as a condom full of jizz.
No. It's far more safe, actually.
Excellent.
It's as safe as an empty condom that's maybe extra thick.
It's about as safe as abstinence?
Yes. That's a good
butt
analogy.
sex.
Yeah. There you go. Unless they got genital warts, then there's
Anal warts.
It's whatever, some kind of warts. It would be considered as safe as butt sex in that respect, because there is still some chance that shit could get fucked up and just wreck your data, or you can't recover your data. But in general, you're storing across a bunch of different places, so a lot less people have access to it, or there's a much lower probability of someone stealing it. And there's also so many people that have it, and the hashing algorithms they have, you can, if a couple nodes go down, you can still recover all the data. So I really like IPFS. That's Interplanetary File System.
I mean, I thought